Okay, so Quinshon Judkins stays in Ohio. The Ohio State running back is now the Cleveland Browns running back. Quinshon Judkins is actually my running back number 2 in this draft class, and we're going to get into why I like him so much in just a second once we get into the film. As for the Browns themselves, I think this is kind of the logic of, they had the 5th overall pick. They could have considered Ashton Jeanty there, right? We kind of didn't have time to think about that because it was so crazy when they traded back. But ultimately, you can, with a pick like this, still get a very good running back. And I think the criticism of him is that maybe is he someone who can be a every down back? Well, you don't necessarily need him to be. I think Jerome Ford can take some snaps off of him, right? He's a totally, I think, effective enough player himself. So you kind of, and honestly, that they kind of complement each other really well. So because of this, yeah, I mean, again, my running back 2, I had him over Hampton. So totally agree with them taking him here, honestly. I mean, again, there's the whole running back value. Is it worth this pick? Blah, blah, blah. We've talked about that to death, but they're getting a great player. So let me get into the film and talk about why I think he is such a good player. Let's start off with a play like what you see on your screen. So this is going to be, a running play, obviously. It's a running back here. Watch out when this play begins. You see Judkins takes a snap, but there is going to be a little bit of, there's defensive linemen kind of right in front of where Judkins wants to run towards. So already there's a little bit of trouble. However, watch how he's going to be able to sidestep that player pretty well. So gets around there, again, trying to create some space for him to run through, do more than what the offensive line can give for you, right? Ultimately, right here, there is another defensive player who's running over trying to make a tackle. But Judkins is going to just run forward, and now he gets through that gap as well and is able to pick up a good amount of yards right there. Again, that's a play that we always talk about running back value, right? And how valuable are running backs really? Well, again, this is a college game, not the NFL game, but on that play, your average college running back probably doesn't get much of anything on that play. Instead, he's getting double-digit yards. I mean, that's value. There's also a play like this, where what's going to happen is they're going to flip the ball to Judkins, who's going to run towards the top of the screen. You have a couple players out to block in that direction. Watch how, when this play begins, the ball gets flipped to Judkins. As of right here, you have a defender who's trying to race over and make a tackle. But again, this is really where the acceleration of Judkins comes through. Because listen, are there faster running backs in this class than him? Sure. I mean, hey, 4.4 guy, that's pretty good. But yeah, there are guys who, it's 4.48. There are guys who are faster. But ultimately, I would say that I'm not sure how many guys are quicker than him. The acceleration is great, and he's going to show it off right here. Watch this. I mean, he's just explosive, right? He just blows by not just that player, but the safety as well, and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. It just seems like he, I don't know. It's like in those, like Mario Kart, where you go over one of those, like a mushroom, and it makes you go faster. That's just how it feels like he plays. Like this play is a perfect example of that. It's 3rd down and 3. It's going to be a run towards the offense's left. Right off the bat, this is well blocked by Ohio State. They're able to clear up running lane for him, so gotta give the offensive line credit, right? We always credit the running backs, gotta give the blockers the credit here, but ultimately we're here to talk about Judkins, and he's currently standing at his opponent's 19-yard line. There are several players who could come in and try and make a play, but he's just going to be faster. Watch, he just blows by all of them, and he's able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. It's that explosiveness that he has that is ultimately what I like about him so much and why I think he's going to work so well at the next level. Like heading over to something like this, so you have a interior defensive lineman on this play. I mean, they're in a tough spot, right? Ohio State is. They're at their own 3-yard line. Watch the interior defensive lineman who I have circled. Watch how when this play begins, he's going to just quickly get through, and he's in position to try and tackle Judkins. And the last thing you want is to lose more yards when you're already this close to the goal line. You don't want to have a safety. You're up 35-0, so you feel okay. But I don't know. Hey, it's college football. You got to look impressive. It's not enough just to win, right? But watch how he just blows by that player, and again, picks up 10 yards, falls forward as well, not afraid for the contact there. So ultimately, again, this is just what it is. And I know that there are guys who run, and again, a 4.48 is not a bad 40. I know there are guys who run better 40s than him, but ultimately, if he's running 40 yards straight, then something very good has happened, right? And the fact that his, first 10 yards, to me, that's what I care about more, and he is great at that. This play is one of those that I really, really like from Judkins, and part of why I am so high on him. So let's see what happens. First, he's going to take the handoff right here, and there's a lot of, not a lot of running lanes for him to get through towards the right. He does a pretty good job at going through the lane quickly when it's there, but he's not afraid to look for something else if he needs to. Watch how he's going to then cut more towards the top of the screen. Again, the vision that he has is really impressive, and again, showing it off right here, gets closer towards the top of the screen. Now there are a couple of safeties he has to worry about, but it's again his explosiveness and the way that he can shift while at a top speed. Watch as he is able to just kind of blow by, really just, not both safeties, but one safety nearly gets into the end zone for a touchdown, but ultimately that's just, again, that's a great play, right? What he can do in those situations, I mean, it's remarkable stuff. So yeah, this is what I like about Judkins. This is why I think he's going to work. And also one more thing, because I keep talking about his speed, but listen, this is a guy who, is 220 pounds. He's not a small running back, 6 feet tall, 220. Okay, he's not the biggest back in this class, but he's pretty big. You see right here, going towards the top of the screen, I've circled a linebacker, and you might be thinking, okay, I know what's going to happen. He's going to outrun that linebacker and get into the end zone that way. Not quite. Watch as the linebacker reads his play really well, gets in position, and then promptly gets stiff-armed as Judkins is able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Listen, this is a physical player. He really is. You'd think with his explosiveness, he might not be. He might be someone who just tries to run by guys. But no, he can play physical, and he does play physical, and he does a lot of really good stuff. So ultimately, he's just a player that I think is going to work. I think this explosiveness really plays well at the NFL level. I think that this is something that teams value. And while I do think that there is some criticisms of, I think the criticisms of with him and Trayvon Henderson both being at Ohio State, they kind of complemented each other. How well will they be apart from each other? Okay, I get the, how much value does Judkins just have purely by himself? Okay, that is a question that is fair to ask, but ultimately, I don't know. I see a lot of value on tape. I think he's going to be a good player, but ultimately, those are my thoughts on Judkins. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first-round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.